weather inside is going to be even more amazing today, I can assure you that. But before we begin our session, let us come to a small deal, can we?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, the deal number one is, can you all please be present in the moment and switch off your mobile phones or put them on silent? Give me a thumbs up when you're all done.
Yes.
Great. The second deal is, let us all be respectful, by which I mean when you want to exit or enter, make it smooth and slide, only when you hear the sweet sound of an applause. The third deal is, let's stay safe here, by which I mean let's not talk about sex, religion or politics in the meeting. Are we all done? Set? Is it a deal?
Yes.
Yes.
Great job. So moving on, last night during one of these late deep night thinking, I messaged this person. I asked her, if money was not the issue, would you rather live in a rural area or in a city? I thought she would give some answer like she would leave everything behind and go live in Himalayas. But what I didn't think was, she's a very practical person. She gave a very well balanced answer. She told she would take a small vacation in her farmhouse, but would come back to city and live in city because of the comfort it offers. And her answer reflects how calm and collected she is in person as well. She's a very calm person, very practical person. During a tough decision, she has this calmness in her, and even when she comes on the stage, she has this calm and soothing aura, and it eases everyone around. And she inspires me, and if I ever were to hold such a high position in this club, I would aspire to be someone like her. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us call our calm and charismatic President Chaitra Chandapillai.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavana. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
Bangalore Toastmasters Club ke nimmellarigu swagata. I call to order meeting number 1501. Now, before we proceed with the rest of our meeting, I would like to call onto the stage our Secretary, Toastmaster Shreya Sargol, to give us the minutes of the last meeting.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
Last week's meeting was a historic event, and it was a 1500 meeting. The theme of the meeting was 1500 milestones, made by many, stand by one, built by many, stood as one. The word of the day was legacy. The total number of members present were 45, and the number of guests present were 55. The table topic session was held by Toastmaster Pradeep, and all the table topics went to the past presidents and the past members, and I hope they enjoy, I hope they see this video. And the best part was the debate session, which was held by Toastmaster Karunakar Dev, and the winner of that was Toastmaster Vishal Kumar, who displayed his variety of emotions.
Thank you. Members, are there any amendments to the minutes of meeting number 1500?
None.
Okay, I declare the minutes of meeting number 1500 passed. A few years back, I was on a train journey, and like your typical train journey, everyone in the compartment started talking to each other. And there was one very anxious person. He was on his way to Bangalore, and it was the first time he was away from his family. And the reason he was anxious, he did not know Kannada. And he said, how will I manage? I don't speak a word of Kannada. The answer was unanimous. All of us reassured him that it was okay. He just needed to be here and learn little by little, and soon he would really find that Karnataka is home. Now when I think back, I can see how my grandfather had similar anxieties. In the 1940s, he moved to Bangalore from Kerala, and again, he did not know one word of Kannada. But this quiet little city at that point soon became home to him. He worked hard, he raised 4 amazing children, and he left a loving family behind. At that time, Bangalore was a very sleepy town, and he used to tell me about how he used to cycle from central Bangalore all the way to Indranagar, because that was where he worked every single day. And he used to tell me about how there were so many people who were so helpful to him every step of the way. He joined HAL, he moved to different organizations, and finally he opened a doctor's practice in Kothari. And one thing I've noticed is that whenever I talk to different people, I hear the same story being echoed over and over again. The other day I went to visit a friend, and she had 3 other roommates. And there was one thing I noticed. They were all from different corners of India. Calcutta, Ahmedabad, Delhi, Coimbatore. None of them from Karnataka, but they had found a home over here. And we are a very cosmopolitan state. One thing that many people don't know is that when researchers started looking at artifacts from the Indus Valley civilization, they came across some gold statue. And when they really analyzed it, there was one thing that stood out. There was a unique blend of gold and silver that they had used in the statue, and there was only one place where that could have originated from: Kolar. So we go back all the way from the time of the Indus Valley civilization to a very cosmopolitan city now. And the reason we have been able to build ourselves to this level, the reason why we are the 3rd richest state in India and one of the most open states in India, is because we welcome everyone with open arms. And that turns out to be our strength. Now, to take this meeting forward, there is someone who also found a home in Karnataka. He comes from Jharkhand, and he has been living in Bangalore for 3 years. He is a DGM at DTDC Express, where he helps analyze the pricing and commercials. So if you see any price increase, you know whom to catch. He loves to read, and one of his goals is to start reading more regularly. And when I spoke to him about Toastmasters, he told me about his favorite Toastmasters moment, when he gave his icebreaker over here. At first he was very hesitant and nervous. But then, as he started speaking, he felt more reassured, and then, by the end of the speech, he found himself on the top of the world. So friends, put your hands together to welcome onto the stage our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Nitesh Kumar.
Thank you, President Toastmaster Chaitra. Whenever I am introduced on this stage, I go straight up to cloud nine. For a brief period, I start having this delusion that I am far more talented than I actually am. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests.
Good evening.
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
How are you doing today?
Top of the world.
Amazing.
Shall we start?
Yes.
Yay. Great. So our theme for today is One State, Many World, which is the celebration of the spirit of Karnataka, the land where I am standing and you are sitting. So now I have been fortunate enough to be in the city of Bangalore for the last 3 years, and I have truly experienced the diversity and the culture that it has to offer. I have 2 stories to share with you today. One day, I was going through the metro and I saw an interesting scene. One tech guy in a blazer was sitting just next to a farmer in dhoti. One had a laptop open, the other one had a small bag full of fresh beans. Now, they were from different backgrounds, they didn't know each other, and their journeys were probably different too. But for a brief moment, they looked at each other, they nodded and smiled. In that brief moment, the Silicon Valley of India and the rural Karnataka sat side by side. That is Karnataka for you, a place where the modern tech and the timeless tradition goes by the same train. Now let's go to the second story. I'm not a avid traveler, but sometimes I travel. And I got a chance to visit Hampi. While I was walking through the ruins of Hampi, I had a profound realization. The city, the ruins I'm walking, it was never a normal city. At one time, it was the capital of Vijayanagara Empire, one of the powerful and the richest cities in the world at that time. Traders from Persia, China, and Portugal flocked there for its wealth, art, and culture. It was the magnet for talent, trade, and cultural communication. Now, when I was thinking about this, then I suddenly had a realization. 600 years later, and some 300 kilometers away, Karnataka is doing the same thing again. That spirit of Abhay lives in Bangalore. Like Hampi, we used to build kingdoms with the stones. In Bangalore, we build kingdoms with code. One grand past and one grand present. That's Karnataka for you. One state, many words. But of course, there is one small difference. At least they used to walk freely in Hampi. Today, here we are all in traffic. Now, the story of transformation and diversity does not end here. About 100 years back, a gentleman named Ralph C. Smedley had a similar idea. The idea was not to build a kingdom or to build a unicorn or to build a city, but to improve communication and leadership among an individual. So on October 22, 1924, from a small room in California, he gathered some people with the intention to help them make them a better version of themselves by improving their leadership skills and their communication skills. That small meeting is now a global movement with over 10,000 clubs, 280,000 members, across 149 countries, Toastmaster has become a global movement today. Great things happen when you bring people together with a similar vision. So Toastmaster has been helping a lot of people over a century to improve their communication skills, leadership skills in a very effective and structured manner. Why that is possible? Because a standard Toastmaster meeting follow a specific path. It will have 3 segments. One is the prepared speech, second is the debate topic, and third is the evaluation segment. In prepared speeches, and the speaker comes after preparing for a specific topic and he delivers a speech as per his project guidelines. In the debate topic session, the topic assigned to him are impromptu and he has to speak on that topic. Finally, in the evaluation segment, the evaluation gets done by general evaluator. Now today's meeting is going to be a little bit different, so we are not going to have the debate topic session for today. Instead of that, we are going to have the educational session. By DDM, the details will be announced after the break. Sorry, this is my first time, so I have to see. Now, once the general evaluator evaluates, he will be assisted by 3 auxiliary role takers. We call them the tag team. They are sitting, the 3 musketeers, the timer, the counter, and the grammarian. I will introduce each one of them one by one. Let me start with the timer first. Our timer for today joined the club just a month ago after finishing his speech craft program. He is currently working as an analyst at Bread Financials and he is passionate about social entrepreneurship. May I request Toastmaster Divyanand to please read out the role guidelines.
Good evening, Toastmasters and my dears.
Good evening.
So basically at Toastmasters, you get a designated amount of time to come and speak over here. So let's say because I did hotel management and I know a lot about cooking, let's say I have to explain about chicken biryani to you people. Take a vessel, add oil, add onion, add spices, add chicken, add rice and just cook it. So that's the way I would present it. But let's say I started telling, go to Madiwala market in the morning and buy onions and then cut it in this angle, all of you will sleep. You'll obviously you'll start ordering biryani from Swiggy and it will not be a good speech. So that's the reason we have a designated amount of time. So today we only have prepared speeches. So the prepared speeches you will get 5 minutes time, at which I'll be showing the green card at 5 minutes. I'll be showing the yellow card at 6 minutes, and I'll show the red card at 7 minutes. So for the evaluators, I'll be showing the green card at 2 minutes. I'll be showing the yellow card at 2.5 minutes, and I'll show the red card at 3 minutes. So yeah, over.
Thank you, Professor Divyanand. Now moving to the our counter for today. Our counter for today is someone who loves sketching and board games. And when I asked her what is your favorite memory from Bangalore, she said once she had a chance to visit the Nimhan's Brain Museum and she saw actual brain there. Please welcome Toastmaster Alagammai to read out the role guidelines.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I am our counter for today's meeting. My job is to listen carefully and note any filler words like you know. This little sound steals into your speech and can distract from your message. So, do not use filler words. At the end of the meeting, I'll report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Alagammai. Now, moving on to the grammarian. Our grammarian for today is someone who is an engineer and entrepreneur. He has been running his garment export firm Muscat over 32 years, and he has been part of the Toastmaster since COVID lockdowns. May I request Toastmaster Jacob Eapen for the role guidance.
Good evening, Toastmasters, and welcome guests.
Good evening.
I'm super excited to be the grammarian for today's meet. I will keep careful note of every good language and phrases in the English language the speakers use. I will also keep careful track of not so good grammar and produce this at the end of the meet when the general evaluator calls for it. I would also request each and every speaker to use the word of the day, which is diversity. The meaning of diversity is a wide range. And if I have to use diversity as a sentence, it would be, our city has a diverse collection of people and culture, which is to be enjoyed. I would produce the good uses of English grammar, along with the number of times the word of the day is used at the end of the meeting when the general evaluator calls for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Jacob. Now let's move to the prepared speeches segment. Before I call my first speaker, let me introduce you to the evaluator first. Our evaluator for today is someone who has been part of PTMC since 2021. He is a techie, born and brought up in Karnataka. He admires the state's rich cultural diversity. He enjoys hiking, bike riding, and reading. May I request Toastmaster Chiranth to read out the evaluation guidelines.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Particularly Speaker Toastmaster Muralidharan. The speech that I am going to evaluate is the speaker is attempting the level 1 project 2 from the pathway dynamic leadership, and the purpose of the speech is for the speaker to learn and review the basic methods for writing a speech and with a defined purpose, and to present a well-organized speech on any given topic. All the best to the speaker.
Thank you, Toastmaster Chiranth. Now the evaluation done by Toastmaster Chiranth will also be evaluated by another evaluator as part of his project guidelines. To evaluate this evaluation, we have another evaluator who joined Toastmasters back in 2017. He is currently working at Bosch, and he is also known as the Tenali Rama of our club. May I request Toastmaster Abhay Kothari to read out the evaluation guidelines.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and evening. The purpose of this project is for the member to practice applying feedback and serve as a speech evaluator during a club meeting, and to deliver constructive feedback on another member's presentation. Time manager, please note time is 2 to 3 minutes. All the best to the evaluator and back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Now it's time to call our first speaker. Our first speaker is someone who joined Toastmasters just 5 months ago. He is an electrical engineer and by qualification, and he works as a senior management position in an MNC. His interests include wildlife photography, spiritual pursuits, listening to Ilayaraja's music, and value investing, something related to stock market. Now, having lived in Karnataka, he knows 5 languages. Kannada, Hindi, Telugu, English, and Tamil. He is also, today is something special for him because it's his birthday today. So, without further delay, let's welcome Toastmaster Muralidharan, with his speech title, My Internship with Yamraj's Assistant, Lessons in Duty, Dust and Desert. My internship with Yamraj's Assistant, Lessons in Duty, Dust and Desert. Toastmaster Muralidharan. Let's have a big round of applause.
Have you ever gone on your first foreign trip on a work assignment with full of dreams and excitement? Later on you found out more than a professional trip, it was like meeting the assistant of Yamaraj with no exit option. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Good evening. Years ago, I was assigned a project in North Africa. I landed in the airport. I was welcomed by blazing heat, Alagammai certified pure heat. Then from the airport, I traveled to a place of stay. On the way, I found sand dunes, 1 or 2 trees clinging for life, and the smell of olive oil. I was given a free accommodation. When I went to the hotel, I was welcomed by environmental friendly smile. People had green teeth. Literally. This hotel was near the Sahara Desert. I was given $10 allowance per day for my daily needs. Tourists used to come to this hotel to go to the Sahara Desert. They used to have this lunch and tip the waiter with $2 or $3. The waiter, on an average, he used to earn $40 per day. I used to get $10 per day. Thought being a waiter is better. 3 months passed, adjusting with the culture, the Arabic language, food, the harsh conditions. The food was mostly turkey chicken, the big chicken, bread and seafoods. I was going along. Suddenly I developed high fever, which never went away. So I went to a doctor. He was basically an Arabic and a French speaking person. He scanned me and checked me and told, you have a parasitic infection. Means parasitic infection. I told, okay, let me go back to my home country. He told, no, you finish. What he meant was, I'm not going to survive. Immediate treatment. So they took me to a room, a dark room, single light. He told, lie down in the bed. I lied. And the nurse gave me injection. The doctor injected me in the ribs here. And asked me, is it paining? I told, no. Then again he showed the hand. The nurse gave him a knife, which looked like a dagger from a prehistoric movie. Within a blink of a second, he punctured my ribs. The nurse inserted a tube. Then the doctor told, pump it out, pump it out. The pump is not working. I'm losing my consciousness. I can see my friends and family. And the assistant of Emraj telling, sir, we have a customer today. Let us go. Miraculously, the pump worked. The doctor held my hand and told, it's done. You have drained your infection. I was exhausted, tired, weak. I asked for food. They again brought me a turkey chicken, then bread. I told, oh no, I want some fruits. Then I thought, have I made a wrong decision coming here? How do I survive for under 3 months? I remember the story of an elephant and a temple. The elephant's job was to ring the bell every morning. The people around the temple will come to the temple, hearing the sound and pray to the Lord. One day the elephant was very sick. The priest told, take rest, I will take care. The elephant told, no, it's my duty, I will do it. The elephant was weak, it got up. With the trunk again hit the bell. Though it was feeble, people came. They saw the sense of appreciation and the commitment of the elephant. They appreciated it. This story changed my mind. I thought, I am going to stay here. I am going to work, complete my project. Again I went to the phosphate mines. Worked, dust, storm, severe. 3 months over, I finished successfully and straight away came to Bangalore. From the airport, I went to Manipal Hospital. Told Dr. Ginny, please audit all my internal organs. Okay or not? He checked and told you are fine. I was relieved. So Toastmasters, life will give you deserts, Sahara deserts. The path will twist and turn. It will appear and disappear. Walk the path, show up, finish your duty. एक बार कमिटमेंट कर दिया तो खुद को भी नहीं सुनता हूँ. बहुत ही Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Muralidharan, for sharing such a wonderful story. You definitely had a meeting with Yuvraj, but I think it got cancelled. Moving on to the second speech, let me introduce you to the evaluator first. The evaluator is someone who joined Toastmaster 25 years back. He is a veteran Toastmaster, he is a retired banker, and he is someone who brings within years of experience, wisdom, and insights. Since the guidelines for this speech remains the same as the first speaker, so we are going to skip the evaluation guidelines and we are going to move to the speaker now. Our second speaker is a product manager with passion for language and storytelling. His experience across countries has sparked his interest for languages. After German and Spanish, he is now exploring Sanskrit and Russian. In today's speech, he draws inspiration from someone close to his heart, sharing a message that connects strength, empathy, and emotional support. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Toastmaster Balakrishna Rao with his speech title, The Strength Behind the Smile. The Strength Behind the Smile. Toastmaster Balakrishna Rao. Let's have a good round of applause.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening. Good evening.
So 3 weeks ago, I lost my grandmother, and she was a young girl when India got independence, and World War II was happening, and she had marched along with Mahatma Gandhi. She had seen Nehru, Indira Gandhi up close, and she has lived through all the crises, ups and downs in the country, the wars, and even to the recent pandemic, right? And what a legacy and story she had in her life. As kids, we always saw her smile. That's the topic theme, that strength behind smile. So we thought everything went right for her. Until my mother told me that how she lost her husband very early, and that is my grandfather. And she had to single-handedly raise the kids, manage the house, and also she had sold homemade products to make the ends meet. So, but she never forgot how to smile, right? So, as we saw her growing even older, the strength of spirit alone could not replace care, because she had Alzheimer's, and then she was forgetting things. So there had to be someone around her always, right? Then I realized, okay, that brings me to today's topic, which is elderly care and emotional support. So in the media, largely we cover, okay, India is a young nation, a lot of young people. That's one side of the story. But the other side of the story is we've got millions of elderly who seek care, respect, and to live in this society, which perhaps have not been given that the privileges in their old age. So no matter how independent or wise our elders are, but there comes a moment where they will need something more than beyond medicine, right? They need emotional support, care. And we always see there are two reasons probably for this. One is the immigration, people moving out, and then other is the urban migration. So we see now cities are becoming bigger and bigger, right? So what we see here, buildings are all because people from villages are coming here. Who are left behind are these elderly in the villages and nobody to take care. And same happens because I know of a family who had come for a few days to stay with their parents, and parents were overjoyed. So they had cooked his favorite meal and waiting to spend time. So son actually came here. He was, even those few days, he was always on laptop, on calls, right? So a few days passed, and parents quietly told him, right, if you can't spend time with us, please don't come, right? So these were very harsh words, but it's a true ones. So what really matters, like last time we had a speech that happiness, we cannot buy happiness, right? So it's the moment, it's the time that we spend is what matters. So then I looked around, I saw so many elderly men and women, even today, they do some small work, say you can see them selling vegetables or flour and so on the street, but still they have the smile. Not because that they didn't have any difficulty in life, but they have built that endurance. They have gone through this pain, sorrow and loss in their life, but they never forgot how to smile. And that is something, a great learning that we all have to take. Then the big question comes is India prepared for taking care of its elder, right? So we always, our problems are bigger. So even if you say some percentage, it always turns out to be millions. We are 1.5, close to 1.5 billion people, and we have several millions who are elderly who need care. Is India prepared? I don't think so, because we always talk of Japan, which is having the highest number of aging population, but we have more than Japan in our country. So if you take Japan, probably more than one Japan fits in India, right? So nobody talks about it. Do we have the infrastructure? Can we take care of our elderly people? Because many of the Western countries I have seen, they have a specific program for the community, caregiving, insurance and so on. But here, largely elderly population are left to the families, elderly. And many of the people are either abandoned or being left by the very family that they nurtured. Right? So, if today we have already seen in the pandemic how the infrastructure crumbled just because the percentage of patients increased and we were searching for all the oxygen. So that's a difficult phase. But if you talk of countries like Australia, Europe, or Japan, for example, so they have very specialized programs. And also these countries, even the lawbreakers are made to not just penalty, they're asked to spend certain amount of time in the old age homes, and so that they learn what humility is and all this. And even Sir Ratan Tata, Ratan Tata. So if you see him always with a young boy called Shantanu Naidu, because he was supporting this cause, Goodfellows, which is actually to connect the seniors with the teens. And that initiative, he did it till his last breath. Right? So now, even if somebody asks question, what's in it for me, I would say, in our corporate presentation also they ask, okay, what is the lessons learned? What went wrong? And how did you fix it? So these are all true even for in our life. And where else do you think we can go seeking for this answer? No ChatGPT or technology will ever match the wisdom that our seniors have. So before leaving, probably I have just one question: is when was the last time you spoke to your grandparents who might be living away? When did you call them up just to hear them out? Or you spent time here if they are living with you, just kept aside the mobile, not seeking advice, but just listen to them how their day was and genuinely spend time, quality time. So I will leave it at that thought. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Balakrishna. That was such a beautiful story with a thought that leaves us wondering. Moving on to the third speech. Before I call the third speaker, let me introduce you to the evaluator first. Our evaluator joined Toastmasters back in 2016. By education, he is a CA and CPA, and he is the founder and managing partner at Phenocytes Consulting. May I request Toastmaster Ganesh Pai to read out the evaluation guidelines.
The Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening. The speaker is attempting Level 3 project on persuasive speaking from presentation mastery path. The purpose of this project is for the member to understand the types of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. Timer, please note, speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. All the best to speaker. Back to the Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ganesh. Our third speaker comes from the coastal part of Karnataka. What does it mean? It means the Arabian Sea coastline, the lush green land, the backwaters, the beaches, the seafood, the local snacks, neat dosa and coconut-based curries. He has been part of PTMC since 2023, and by education he is an engineer and engineer. He is currently a public speaker and a trainer, and he is also the past president of our club. Without further delay, let's welcome our third speaker, Toastmaster Sheeb Kumar, with his speech title, The Lost Connection. The Lost Connection, Toastmaster Sheeb Kumar.
Year 1975, the movie Bobby. Remember the song? हम तुम एक कमरे में बंद हो और चाबी खो जाए. Fast forward 50 years later, 2025, the sequel. हम तुम एक कैमरे से बंद हो और वाईफाई खो जाए. Oh my God! No Wi-Fi, low battery, no charger in sight. My heart skips, my brain trips, and my confidence dips. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests, nature gave us 72 organs, and we human beings added one more, the smartphone. Today we have 5 vital indicators to show that we live in this world. Pulse, blood pressure, oxygen, temperature, and network signal. No network signal. BP high. Not the BP pressure, the bandwidth pressure. Today, WIFI is more important than WIFE. We scroll when we wake up, we scroll when we are fed up, we scroll to catch up, and we scroll till our eyes gives up. We scroll for views, we scroll for news, we scroll for memes, we forget our dreams. We scroll when we eat, we scroll on the street, some even scroll on the toilet seat. We are living in a world where our thumbs work faster than our minds. Few years back, I saw a book on my 9-year-old daughter's table, a small book. I picked it up. I thought it's a story book for the children. But as I began to read, I realized it's a story about a boy, a fox, a rose, and a rose pilot. As I move the pages, I realize it's not written for the children. It's written for the grown-ups who forgot that once they were children. And in that book, there is an amazing line which I can never ever forget. It's like this. It's only with the heart that you can see clearly. What is essential is invisible to the eye. What is essential is invisible to the eye. Scrolling gives you everything. Reels, highlights, filters, and stories. But reading gives you the invisible. The thoughts, the dreams, the aspirations, which no algorithm can ever understand. As I began going through the book, I realized there's a scene in that the little prince sees a businessman. And the businessman is a man whose job is to count the number of stars in the sky. And he wants to own all the stars. But he forgets to look at the sky and appreciate the beauty of the sky. And then I realized, we are like that, right? And that book slowed me down. And I slowed down, I began to see. I began to see how we often misinterpret busy as important. How we measure our worth in likes, not in kindness. How we chase numbers and forget the names. When you scroll, the world moves fast around you. But when you read, you return. You return to wonder, you return to imagination, you return to curiosity. And on October 9, I was coming to this very own venue. And I come by my BMW, bus, metro, walking. I got in the metro and I spotted a young Toastmaster, not Vishal. And I was excited and I approached him. I stood beside him for 1,200 seconds. Yes, 20 minutes. And he didn't see me until I tapped on his shoulders because he was scrolling. When you scroll, you think you are moving fast. You are in motion, but it doesn't give you any meaning. When you scroll, you are going for reach, but reading gives you richness. And when you scroll, you are going for distraction, and reading gives you direction. And when you scroll, you get speed, but reading gives you depth. So my dear fellow Toastmasters, today when you go back home, place your phone face down and pick up a book and start reading, because when you read, you are conversing with the characters, the author, and sometimes with yourself. And when you connect, when you scroll, what happens is we are just consumers, we are just consuming. And when you read, you are connecting. And when you connect, you create. When you create, we get that fulfillment, right? That's what we are, all of us are here, right? So my dear fellow Toastmaster, I urge you, because 2026 is coming. So, I urge you to read. Just pick up a book and read and find yourself. Because when you scroll, you will fade away. And when you read, you will find your way. When you scroll, you are chasing the trend. And when you read, your thoughts will ascend. And when you scroll, you are just wasting the feed. And when you read, you plant a seed. So, in 2026, let you reconnect with yourself. हम तुम एक किताब के साथ बंद हो और दुनिया खो जाए. Because sometimes the best escape from this world is inside of a book.
Toastmaster Sheeb, wasn't that a melodious performance?
Yes.
And also he has his inspired me to put down my phone and start reading once again. Now, we are going to have a 5 minutes break, but before the break, please vote for the best speaker. The link is in your WhatsApp. The password is 1500. We will meet in 5 minutes at 7:25. The general evaluator. Our general evaluator is someone who considers himself as a true Bangalorean. He is born and brought up in Bangalore, and currently he is a businessman and entrepreneur. He is carrying forward his family's textile business. Recently, he has stepped into a new role, and it's called fatherhood. The little one keeps him busy all the time. He says he's forever grateful to be born in Karnataka, and if there is a choice, he will do it again. Please welcome Toastmaster Mahaveer.
In 1980, my grandparents moved here from a small village called Marwar. Yes, you got it right. I am a Marwar. So, I feel very lucky out of all the worlds and all the states I've been born here. How are you guys feeling today? Are you all on top of the world after the amazing sessions?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to give you the feedback today of how the meeting went. I'm going to start off with Toastmaster Bhavana, the SA. I came here around 5:45, 5:50. She was here with her team, set up everything in order, started writing on the board and arranged the seats. And she, as soon as it was 6:30, she came on stage, started off meeting spot on. She gave a fantastic intro of Madam President. It was a little long, but it was superb. So, for the role, well done. Give it up for Toastmaster Bhavana. Next, we had the secretary, Toastmaster Shreya Sudgul. Shreya, fantastic, memorizing the entire minutes of the meeting. I know that's not easy, remembering the tiny bits, but you did it so well. Kudos to you. Kudos to you uploading the minutes of the meeting on time, every week, for every meeting. So for the role, well done. Give it up for Toastmaster Shreya Sudgul. Next up, we had Toastmaster Chaitra Chandapillai, who is the president of our club. She started off with the story of how Bangalore had an impact on her and left a very strong message to each of us and made us visualize the entire scene. And she's been doing this week after week and handling everything so well. So please give it up for Toastmaster President, Madam President, Toastmaster Chaitra Chandapillai. I'm going to be evaluating the TOD towards the end. Now, I would like to call upon the evaluators of today. For the first speech, we have Toastmaster Chiranth, HD. Chiranth, please.
Good evening again, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Toastmaster Muralidharan in particular. The speaker was attempting a project to understand and learn how the basic methods of writing a program and present it in a well organized manner. So let's see how he performed. So any speech has, like for the benefits of the doubt, any good speech will have an opening, body and conclusion. So his opening was a question that acts as a hook. He asked a question about the people, how they felt when they went on a foreign trip. Even though it was a professional, the first foreign trip, and he also mentioned Like, it is filled with excitement and dreams. That is really good. So the second, like as soon as you entered, you gave us a vivid explanation of how you felt, how that blazing heat treated you, and while traveling, how that dunes of, there is a few surviving trees in terms in that desert. Okay, and also the part is like on that journey you also mentioned about how the nice people with the green teeth treated you. I could hear some people saying, "Ooh." So that is how vividly you have explained your journey. And like as we all are in some journey, so we face sickness. So that is what he has touched upon, the main thing. And like how that doctor who knew he didn't know like the proper language has said, like it was so humorous that you're dead. That like you had everything, the body language and everything. So you could connect with the people throughout the story. And when you felt low, you brought in like one example of showing how the elephant and the temple helped you to finish your job, not just run away. That's really good. Okay, now the thing is like, that are the three things like where you have done very exceptional. Like you are, throughout your story, you are connected to the people. Like if I have to give a recommendation, that's a very tricky part. So let me ask the Toastmasters, how many of you crave for more of a story? Yeah, many. I was supposed to say quite few, but there are many. So you took 5 minutes 40 seconds. Still, there were like more than 20%, around 100 seconds left. So you could have elaborated your story. You could have painted even a vivid picture of your journey. So that was the story part, and opening body was there, and the conclusion. When you came as a conclusion, so there are 4 types of speeches, like inspirational, persuasive, entertainment, and informal. So yours was entertaining, but when you said that there is a Hindi code, right? That comes under like your entertainment segment becomes like a persuasive. Instead of that, you could have ended like when life gives you a desert, Sahara deserts, let the Chitra have it. Over to you.
So to be evaluating his evaluation, we'll have Toastmaster Abhay towards the end of the evaluation session. Next up, we have Toastmaster Richard D'Souza, who will be evaluating the second speech.
Evaluated, Toastmasters, distinguished guests, and Mr. Balakrishna Rao in particular. I really congratulate you for this wonderful speech. The purpose of your speech was to write a well-organized speech with purpose, and I can gather that the general purpose of your speech was about spreading cheerfulness through smile, and special purpose was elderly care. What I liked in your speech was the elderly care, what concern you had about them, then what are the causes of loneliness for the elderly, that is migration, and a wrong comparison to India and to Japan as far as the elderly population is concerned. You highlighted it. Then social security, which are lacking in India, so, which makes elderly care difficult, and also the example of Tata, how he was assisted by a youngster to alleviate the loneliness, and examples of a youngster who had no time, only he was in computer, so that there also the loneliness of elderly didn't go down. Then the speech which you had delivered with the voice, very good opening of your grandmother who was smiling all the time, who passed away recently. Good transition, the body of the speech, how she lost her husband, and how she faced her life with selling condiments, and very good conclusion for call, because giving a call for action call your grandparents. Like very nice speech, Balakrishna. Only to nitpicking and my suggestions for taking your speech to the next level. I found that your smile could not justify the style of your speech. You could have been more cheerful, and this particular material you could have bifurcated two speeches, one regarding smile and another regarding the elderly care. The material or the contents which you gave for smile, I felt a little deficient. Regarding elderly care, you justified it. Nevertheless, a great speech and a big round of applause to Speaker Balakrishna Rao. We would like to hear more and more speeches like this. Big round of applause.
Next up, we have Toastmaster Ganesh Pai, who will be evaluating the third speech. Please give it up for Toastmaster Ganesh Pai.
Hello Toastmasters and guests, a very good evening again. You all know Toastmaster Sheeb is someone who can sell ice to an Eskimo, oil to an Arab, and so far he has sold 3 combs to me. So you all can imagine how good he is at persuasive speaking. So let us see how Sheeb did today. At the core, this project had 3 key asks of Sheeb. One is to use persuasive speaking either to inspire, convince, or influence, use emotions, logic, and thoughts, and a good structure to execute this. So let us unpack Sheeb's speech and see how he fared. Now Sheeb is a smart cookie. He knows what are the problems we encounter on day-to-day basis, right? So the screen time is one such thing, and he used this topic to influence and convince us. That way, very easy to penetrate into the minds of the audience and capture their attention. Good job. Second, a structure. Obviously, a veteran that he is, this is a table stakes, but here as well, again, play to the perfection, identify the problem and how it is impacting us, then giving us a very clear-cut solution. Again, right on the money. Now, in terms of the emotions and logic, again, the speech was right out there, right from telling us how we in seeing the stars, we are missing the sky, and also using the logic to say, let us not equate busyness with accomplishment, let us distinguish activity or accomplishment, all those extremely connecting with the emotions and the logic. Now, a couple of places where I thought she lost the connection. One is in terms of the ethos. I guess the speech ranked a little low in terms of the credible data. In a sense, he would have said, pick up your phone and look at your screen time, 2.5 hours. Extremely concerning, right? And give some hard-hitting examples like how Warren Buffett, 80% of his time goes in reading, or Bill Gates uses, reads 50 books a year. Those could happen. And some minor refinements. I think you were too fast. Maybe it helps to pause at times, right? And there was quite a bit of overkill in terms of rhyming words as well. Maybe I think a balance would help. So all in all, a good topic to drive home the point, a great structure, and connecting with people in terms of emotions and action. If you could add few data and credible examples and take care of refinement in delivery, I think the speech can help you stay connected with your audience with or without Wi-Fi. With that, back to the
Thank you for that fantastic evaluation. One suggestion from my side is when you're giving a speech, sometimes I've noticed that the last person in the audience loses out a few words. If you could just work on that as well. Next, we'll be having Toastmaster Abhay, who will be evaluating the first evaluator, Toastmaster Chiranth.
The purpose of any evaluation is to provide positive feedback and some recommendations to the speaker that he or she can actually work on. Good evening, Toastmasters, guests, and general evaluator. Good evening. And my target speaker, Chiranth. I think Chiranth, for a beginner in evaluation, I thought that you did a very nice job. You had a lot of positive energy. You praised the speaker about whatever strengths you observed in the speaker, and you made the speaker feel really good about what he did, especially since today is his birthday, and you may not want to, upset that. So I think you did that very well. You also understood the technicality of the project, which demands the speaker to write a speech with a purpose, and you did touch upon that. So in these terms, I thought that you did things very well. Now, what you may want to work on is to not relive the speech of the speaker on stage. Now, we've all heard the speech and we all remember it because it was a very vividly described speech, like you already mentioned. So you may want to work on not reliving and reiterating parts of his speech or repeating his speech. And in that sense, I thought that you lost out on time because you had to hurry up. So if you were to take a look at the time, you can divide it into 3 sections. Use the first minute to praise, use the next 1 to 1.5 minutes to give your recommendations, and use the last 30 seconds to 1 minute, especially when the yellow card comes up, to summarize your recommendations and congratulate the speaker and move off the stage. So in this sense, I thought that you lost out in the impact of your evaluation, though your evaluation of his speech was extremely well defined and well judged. And the other thing was that he had such amazing humor. I think you should have praised that a little bit. And also his storytelling skills, you could have touched upon a bit. Since he's also a new speaker in the club, you will feel good about these strengths. So try to observe them in your evaluation and try to praise the speaker about these strengths of the speaker. Now, if you were to write an exam and you didn't get the results, how would you feel? You would feel bad, right? So I think you should also tell the speaker that he or she has met the objectives, right? So in that sense now, you've got to summarize the recommendations when the yellow card comes up. Yeah, you've got to tell the speaker that they met the objectives and not reiterate this speech again in front of the audience. So use these tips and I'm sure you'll do an amazing job. All the best for your future evaluations. Over to you.
Thank you for that fantastic evaluation. When the speaker was saying that he went to the doctor and the surgery was happening, I was scared. It's like, what's going to happen? So thank you for that amazing story. Next up, I will be evaluating Toastmaster Nitesh Kumar, the DOD of the day. You did a fantastic job from the very beginning. You had good energy. Considering that you're doing this for the first time, you made sure the meeting was very well structured. I have few suggestions for you. One suggestion is when you're introducing the speaker, make sure that the topic is very clear. Because in 1 or 2 speeches, I was trying to get the topic because it is not clear. Second is when you're saying the evaluator has the same objective for the second speech, if you could just name the evaluator as well, that would be good. But other than that, for doing a fantastic job as a TOD for the first time, give it up for Toastmaster Nitesh Kumar. Next, we have the education session by BDM DJ. Hats off to you. Fantastic speech. All of us learned so much and we are very, very grateful, very thankful. Keep coming and helping us out become better speakers. So thank you. Give it up for Toastmasters DJ. I would like to call upon my tag team. First up, I would like to call the timer. Yeah, you're right here. I would like to tag on the timer. Please give on the please give it up.
Yeah, good evening once again to the Toastmasters and my dear guests. Good evening. Actually, all the speakers had they were within the time limit of 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Toastmaster Muralidharan took a time of 5 minutes and 40 seconds. Toastmaster Balakrishna Rao had taken a time of 7 minutes and 22 seconds. Toastmaster Sheeb Kumar had taken a time of 7 minutes and 11 seconds. And coming to the evaluators, all of them are well within the limit of 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Thank you so much for that precise report. Next up, we have the R-Counter Toastmaster Alagammai. Give it up for
Members not used filler words are Toastmaster Chaitra, Toastmaster Sheeb, Toastmaster Muralidharan. Members used filler words are Toastmaster Bhavana, Toastmaster Nitesh, Toastmaster Balakrishna Rao, Toastmaster Mahaveer, Toastmaster Chiranth, Toastmaster Rajendran, Toastmaster Ganesh Pai, Toastmaster Abhay.
report. Next up, we have Toastmaster Jacob for the GRAMMARIAN report.
Wow, that was a really wonderful collection of speakers. I have a long list of excellent use of English language. The word diversity was used by nobody, but I believe the diverse collection of speakers themselves proved this point, that there's a diverse way of thinking, and the speakers themselves put across this concept of diversity. You see unity in diversity everywhere around you. Some of the phrases which impacted me and got in some kind of emotion was every step of the way. I think that is a phrase which conjures up a lot of images. Found a home, welcome with open arms, top of the world, cloud 9, modern tech, timeless tradition, global movement. Why that is possible should have been, why is that not possible? I believe that the other phrases, there are so many here, made a wrong decision or audit all internal organs. Now, when somebody says audit all internal organs, it brings across a picture of something frightful. And I believe that the phrase gave me a couple of shivers. Never forget how to smile, and I believe that's a challenge by itself. The other side of the story, never forget elder care, bandwidth pressure. Now that is something very new. Scroll till the eyes give up. Yes, that's absolutely true. Thumbs work faster than the mind. So the thumbs, while you scroll, does work faster, but I don't think all of us are ambidextrous. BMW, by metro walking. So that was good. Reading gives direction. Of course it does. Big escape in books. Of course, there is a lot of history behind that, I believe. And DJ brought so many vivid memories to me, I can't even begin to express the sentiment behind his speeches. I believe I became a Toastmaster thanks to him. I was in DJ's club for 3 years, and I believe it shaped my way of thinking. The good phrases, heart skipped a beat, wasn't there in my speech. I emphasized the importance of being yourself. Stop borrowing speeches, be authentic. If you really think about it, it makes a lot of sense. A speaker trying to copy somebody else doesn't work always, never works. Anywhere, anything, learn the process, create a masterpiece by mastering the pieces. As usual, DJ always gives something very special for you to think about, take home. Storytelling, of course, and I believe there are too much of good phrases and language used during this particular meeting, and I believe personally for me it's a memorable meeting thanks to DJ.
Thank you for that lengthy Grammarian report, but to the point. So for the meeting, everybody would have received the meeting link. The password is 1500. Can you all please vote? Yes, I would thank the committee for giving me this opportunity, and thank you all. Please give it up to Toastmaster, POD of the day, Toastmaster Nitesh Kumar.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mahaveer, for such a detailed evaluation. Let's have a big round of applause for him. Big thank you to all the speakers, to all the role takers, and the guests for making this meeting a success. What we witnessed here today is the one stage, many worlds. How? Through the speeches, through the stories, and the diversity of voices in the room. Grammarian, please note I have used the word. Now it's time to officially conclude the meeting, and to conclude the meeting, I'm going to hand over the stage back to our president. Please welcome our club president, Toastmaster Chaitra, on this stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nitesh. A huge round of applause to every single person who came here on stage today. Especially to DJ Deepak Justin, or DJ as you know him. Thank you for this amazing meeting. Now I'm going to call upon our area director to give you a quick announcement.
Very quick.
Yes.
The best way to learn is to learn from the test. Do you know how many clubs we have in District 92? 4. We have 192 clubs. So we have something like a pinnacle of speech contest coming up by this end of this month, November 29th and 30th. So the best of all the clubs, like we're going to have 8 interesting, humorous speech as well as 8 taboo topic speakers. So the date is 29th and 30th. We will send more information in the WhatsApp group. So this is an opportunity to learn from the very best. So more information in the WhatsApp. It's called Jamboree.
Thank you. Now it's time for the awards segment of today's meeting. The Best Role Taker Award goes to someone who took this role for the first time, Toastmaster Nitesh Kumar. The Best Auxiliary Role Taker Award goes to someone who observed a lot during today's meeting and whom we disappointed by not using the word of the day. Toastmaster. The Best Evaluator Award goes to someone who gave us a very, very clinical evaluation. Toastmaster Abhay Kothari. And the Best Speaker Award goes to someone who made us stop scrolling. Toastmaster Sheeb Kumar. We also have another award. It goes to Toastmaster Abhay Kothari because he won the second place at the area level table topics contest. He was not there in Both Toastmaster Amrit Kaur and Toastmaster Abhay Kothari were there at the division level contest, which took place last weekend. A quick announcement to our guests. Can we have a show of hands from our guests? Okay. After I close this meeting, please collect your snacks and join me for a walkthrough about what Toastmasters is about. With this, we come to the end of today's meeting. I close meeting number 1501. Can we have the award winners on stage for a quick group photograph?